Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of Akiba's Trip, Undead and Undressed. And here we are, finally with mobility, finally free of the chains of dialogue. And we're going to run through the overworld a little bit here with Kati. And as you can tell, I'm just running towards the beautiful mission marker. I thumbed through my email a little bit, you know, just to give you a little showcase. I scrolled very briefly through the pitter stuff, but it's time to get to the battle arena. Right now, I gotta run through all these areas because I've never been to them before. You can see me just shove some lady out of the way fiercely. Don't even look back to apologize. I stop to get a flyer from the shop assistant. You're gonna see me stop and get the flyers a lot just because I can, just because I feel like it. Because I'm nice. I'm nice to the shop assistants in this game. But here we are at the battle arena. There's some dumplings over there. I can't eat them. But here we are. We're about to meet Antoinette, the battle arena manager, who we may or may not come back to see after this. So we're approaching the final, I would call the final basic tutorial thing. Yeah, we had to go through 3. From here, the game will only introduce like one more concept later on, I think. I don't remember how many missions it is, but that's not as important because here we're gonna get an ability that's very important. That I'm going to use a lot, and the game recommends you use a lot, called chain strip. And chain stripping is very, very useful. The battle arena itself is just an area where you can, I mean, you get these graded rounds. You start at F, obviously, and you go all the way up to S. And for each round you get paid, and you get these special items. And that's pretty much it. They aren't technically missions, though you can do them. I did it in one of my playthroughs and finished it. You get some cool items. You also get paid like a ton. You get like 200,000 yen just for beating the S rank. It's pretty ridiculous. But it's a nice bonus thing, but I'm probably not going to do it in this playthrough because it's just fighting and it's not technically not a mission. I was kind of deliberating over it, but it's not important. Well, another thing I wanted to mention, just to finalize what I'm doing here. So here we go, we're about to get into combat. And I need some kind of special skill, but it's going to be obvious once I start hitting people with my microphone. So yes, here goes chain strip. I'm going to grab this guy's shirt soon after I parry. I was trying to get them weak, but here's the chain strip. It's pretty easy. You get a button prompt on screen, and for every article of clothing that's blinking, which means it can be stripped off, or it's close enough to be stripped off that if you tried to strip it off someone, you would go into the struggle mode where you press the button to take it off to let you do that. I'm also about to do a finisher. The finishers are very, very dignifying, very dignified. Yeah, you turn their underwear into anime light sensors, and then you can pick up their underwear and wear it. This is a good game, I promise. I just picked up some boxer shorts. Now I can do chain strip forever and finishers. Finishers are actually useful in some cases, but chain strip is useful throughout the entire game. Trust me, we will get to places where there are like a ridiculous amount of people to fight, and your partner will be like across like an area fighting 3 guys, and then you'll do a chain strip and you'll fly all the way there to strip somebody. It's very useful, and as the game goes on, it's only going to get more and more useful. But yes, Kati didn't do anything but cheer me on. That's all I really wanted. But now we're going to go back to Mogra. I ran here because I had to discover these areas, but now I'm going to go into my menu and go, after reading these emails, of course. This is just the arena battle stuff, and it's not important. We're going to go to the Akiba map, and I'm going to show you that you can fast travel. But you can only do it once you've gone to the area at least once, obviously. So at that point, I hadn't walked through any of those areas to get to the arena. But fast travel is very useful, and I will obviously use it. The overworld's not that big, but like it's just useful to get from place to place without, you know, mulling through, unless I wanted to do that deliberately. Anyways, so now we've done the battle arena, we've got chain strip, and now we're pretty much gonna be set into the game from here. there's still a couple more things the game is going to introduce. One of which is very important and will happen soon, but first we're going to get sent to Junk Street to do one of the first patrol missions. A lot of the main missions in this game are buffered by, or really they are, but they're also, they buffer really important story missions, are patrol missions. You go out with a certain partner and you patrol the streets and beat up synthesters, and then you come back and other things happen. These patrol missions kind of gear more and more towards the character of choice that you're trying to go for, especially later on in the last act where it pretty much kind of locks you on where you've geared towards, so to speak. But yes, also I wanted to mention that when I've got a definite thing on this. Every true ending for a girl has a normal ending where it's just like you don't get like the happy, lovey, you know, sappy ending, which is what I want. Here I saved for the first time because this is the end of the first recording session, so we're gonna just kind of mend right into the next thing. But yes, you can get the true ending, which is the one that makes your heart smile, which is I'm gonna go for because that's what you want. Or you can get a normal ending, which is kind of like lukewarm. It's not bad. It's not a bad ending. You do get, like I said, you do get characters on the screen, on the title screen for it, but it's not really that important to me, to be honest. And you want to see the best ending. You don't want to see me get the lukewarm ending. You want me to get the best ending. You want me to smile ending. You want the smile, and I'm gonna give it to you. But first, we have to beat up these assholes. We get a lot of just confrontations where people with posters want to beat us up for no reason. So, thankfully, we're going right into another combat session. I know you were afraid that it was just going to be more dialogue, but I promise you, we get to more combat. So now the game's going to tell us about counters, but of course I've used them already like several times in this playthrough, in the few encounters we've had. Just for fun, I block here and do one, you know, just to please you. But yes, we got people with headgear. The game's trying to really ram the whole headgear thing in. That's another thing I wanted to bring up, actually, that you'll probably see later in the game, but not now. Headgear is a big fail-safe clothing option. And by that I mean, unless you're blocking for dodge, your lower body and your mid body can be hit with any time. But upper body, like headgear, is the only... I like that, by the way, the charge attack. We both won at the same time, but I won. Headgear is the only clothing type that you can do a low attack to dodge if someone tries to go for your headgear, and it'll actually dodge. But this works both ways. So later on, when the AI gets a little smarter, they'll do low attacks on purpose when they only have headgear left just to dodge your attacks. And it even works if you try to do headgear counter attacks, that'll still miss. And this was a huge problem for me, like when I was playing on the harder difficulties, because I'd have enemies with just headgear left, and I would try to hit their headgear and I'd keep missing, and then I'd get punished, and it was really annoying. But anyways, we finished our patrol here, and we took out those jerks, so we're gonna leave now. We're gonna head back to Mogra, and I regret to have to inform you that we're about to get another decently long cutscene of dialogue. I know. I promised, and there was, I mean, the 2 encounters already. If we're counting here, this is pretty good. But the game's about to introduce something really important. First, I have to get these beef bowls. We're about to run through more of the lore here about synthesters. And we're about to joke about Pops and the Game Bar's food being bad. It's terrible. I can't believe he'd even suggest I'd buy from this place. No better than McDonald's. But the game is about to introduce side missions. I'll just abridge it here for you because I don't want to. Keeping up the momentum, there is none. It's just cutscenes. Keeping up the suspense is not important. The game's gonna introduce side missions, and from here on, once I do the first side mission, which is technically a main mission, but the game treats it like a side mission and a main mission to push the point. After that, we will get side missions regularly, and there will be a lot more extended periods of time we're out and about in the area than not. because I'm going to be doing all the side missions. For reference, also you'll notice that the side missions have checks next to them. That's because the game keeps track of every side mission you've ever done throughout your history of playing this game, and that's just for like completionist's sake. You will see all of them have check marks except for I think a couple. Some side missions are route specific, but Shion's route has the most route specific side missions. I think it's either 2 or 3. And those are the only ones I haven't done because I haven't done Shion's route yet. I didn't even try to do it normally, but of course I've only gotten true endings in this game, so that's kind of irrelevant. But you're gonna see not check marks next to those, but like you'll know whether or not I've done a mission or not. There's only a couple in this game that linger on. There's a couple missions that stay for just money making, like there's Synthesizer Hunter, and there's another one where you go on beat up gangs, and those will stay in your side missions thing pretty much throughout the game, like different integrations of them, just so you can make money. It's just a money making, pretty much easy money, repeat quest type deal. But otherwise all those other quests will disappear once we complete them, and I will complete all of them. So just in case. But yes, so Yuto here is telling us about the side missions in the phone, which we'll bring up, and the game's gonna push that. It's gonna send us on a very simple first side mission. But yeah, when the side missions come up, there's gonna be a lot more extended time in the overworld, because it's not gonna be just go do main mission and return. It's gonna be, you know, we're gonna go around the town and do more things, obviously. We're also gonna get to upgrading weapons and clothing once we get through the first side missions here. We're almost there, pretty much. Yeah, there are side missions for every main mission in the game until the last 2 missions. And I mean, it's kind of obvious at that point it's endgame, so they're not gonna do any more of that, but that's pretty much just for clarification. Side missions are they say they're timed, but they're only timed. Time only is based on whether you do main missions or not. So there's like a period of time that a main mission pushes forward, and I think you have like 2 of those for most side missions. But most side missions we do will be done with them like long before like they'll run out of time. Some of them you have to go back to Mogra and talk to people, so it's better that you get those, start those first, because you have to do those before they become critical. Because you go back to Mogra and try to continue a side mission that involves you talking to one of the characters there, you might fail it. That happened to me in my first run for a very early side mission, because I just picked up off not playing the game for a year, obviously, and I didn't know where I was, and I hadn't been doing the side missions. So that's pretty much what happened there. So Nana's coming out of her room. Again, we get to see my sister. And she's gonna pretty much usher in the side missions for us. She's gonna give us our first side mission. But first, she has to meet Shizuku here, and we have to have this dialogue about her being a hermit and shut in, which we're gonna cure. I mean, it's okay. I'm okay with it, but we're gonna do for the best. But the first side mission is very easy. We just have to go somewhere and pick something up in the most basic of ways. But we're getting there. Some of the later side missions are pretty intense. I'm looking forward to doing the what I like to call the 48-man melee side missions, which come later. They're the hardest. They have the hardest difficulty rating, because each side mission in the phone has a star rating for difficulty, and those the idol war missions have 5 stars, which is the hardest because you have to fight 48 people, and it's very intense. I'm looking forward to that, obviously. But a lot of them, there's like 1-star ones where you just go buy things for people, and like very simple ones. Like a lot of these early ones especially are gonna be like, oh, I just have to beat someone up and that's it. I mean, the side missions aren't super varied, but like sometimes they're a bit longer in terms of like what you're doing and like what the goal is. Then it's just not like, oh yeah, go buy me a maid dress or go beat up people on the street to pick up their clothing. It's like, okay, I'll do that. But now they're gonna go patrol, and now I'm gonna go speak to Nana so I can get my first side mission and begin the era. I don't need to look at the help thing. It's okay. So here we are. We're gonna finally be able to go into the room behind the bar, and I'm gonna run on in. So Nana's room. I'll come in here several times, not just to do missions, because Nana has specific side missions that you can do throughout the entire course of the game, but the other more important thing, I think, is her synthesis stuff, which we're gonna see after I do the side mission. We're not allowed to do it prior. I also don't have a lot of money, because I spent it. You get the main thing about side missions that really is what makes them worth doing on a first playthrough is the money. They pay pretty well, and if you ever want to like upgrade anything other than selling junk you get off of just people you beat up, like that stuff sells for decent if you get a lot of it. But like you can get like 10,000 yen chunks just for doing side missions, and it's pretty useful. But yes, here it is. As you can see, Nana's difficulty rating is 1 star because we literally are just going to one place to pick up a book. So here I am. I decided not to fast travel, first of which because we haven't gone to the side streets yet, so once again I don't have it. I also wanted to pick up some of the main street points on the way, so that I could have them. I also think, yeah, I was looking, I don't know if I do it here or later, but I was running through the side streets, or I was running through the main street. Yeah, I think I'm about to do it actually. Maybe or maybe not. Oh no, because I have to go that way. Here I get another flyer. At one point I'm going to go through the stores. Oh, I do it. Okay. Not into Go-Go Curry, but I'm going to go over here to look into, look into this shop. Mulan Akiba Chodori. And I buy the Mitsuhime t-shirt. I actually was looking for headgear. I forgot what stores sell headgear, because not a lot of them do. It's easier to just find them on... It's easier to find them off of people's bodies than buying them. But I was wondering if I could get one early. I think they sell them over in side streets, but I didn't bother to stay. So I just got the Mitsuhime t-shirt because I wanted a better t-shirt. So I upgraded here. I also changed to just some better jeans. That was just for the sake of whatever. It's not super important this early on to get better clothing, but I just felt like doing it anyway. Here we're gonna go over and finally get to the side streets. I think it's just right through here, yep. And it takes us right where we need to go. We literally need to take a right to K-Books, and over at K-Books is the shop employee that's gonna give us the book that we need. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about synthesis, because the game's about to introduce it. But the way synthesis works is you basically combine items you have with an item you want to upgrade to make it better. And obviously the higher the item's base stat, the better the upgrade is. There's also a couple more factors for this. If you upgrade an item, upgrading it with the same item type is much more useful. Like with the microphone, I'm actually going to mostly upgrade it with other microphones, especially buying them. If you buy the microphones from the store like I did at the beginning of the game, those actually are really good for upgrading one-handed weapons. But I'm going to just upgrade the microphone by colliding it with more other durable microphones. And I mean, if it's really high base stat, like 100 or even 80, like any weapon type or clothing type combined will still have a significant increase. But like same types are more like, they have more of an effect on the way the weapon increases. So here I'm gonna do some synthesis. I'm gonna only do it once on the microphone just to showcase what it looks like. It's very simple. You fuse weapon to clothes. So yeah, here I picked my microphone, and then I'm upgrading it with another microphone. It's low base stat though, it's only 4, so it's only going to upgrade my microphone by 1 to bring it to 76. But later when I get, you know, microphones of equal or, you know, or weapons of equal or higher base stat, they're going to upgrade that by 30 and 40 increments, and it's going to make it a lot more powerful. So here, we're going to finish this off, and that's going to finish up the video introducing side missions and synthesis. Next time we're going to do some patrols. Thank you for watching. Watch again, please, and I'll see you next time.